This is why hiking is bold. For one, it lets you see the world. Hiking is adventurous and is a great way to experience the outdoors. You can see all of the nature and wildlife that lives around us. Secondly, hiking keeps us healthy, strong, and fuels our brains. Lastly, walking through nature and breathing clean air helps us relax and get away from the stress of the city.
Hey everyone, so now that we're ready to go, we are going to start at the top of the Grand Canyon near the rocks. As you can see in the distance, there is some green over here, and then we have some water kind of trailing, as you can see down at the bottom. And then when we begin to walk more, you'll see everything closer. The different types of rocks visible in the Grand Canyon make it an important site for geological research. Geoscientists study the physical aspects of the Earth. Claudia Joan Alexander was a Canadian-born American research scientist specializing in geophysics and planetary science. Now, if we were there in person, we would be using a special tool called a magnifying glass that'll let you look closer at the 40 layers of the Grand Canyon rocks. There is nearly 40 major rock layers exposed in the Grand Canyon National Park. They range in age from about 200 million to nearly 2 billion years old. Here we are taking a look at the Colorado River that runs through the Grand Canyon super closely. We're going to scan around. You can see how tall those rocks look from where we're standing. And as we keep turning and zoom in a little closer, you can see that the multiple layers of rocks are there. The Grand Canyon is around 6,000 feet deep. The Colorado River is the water you're seeing. People will often raft, kayak. Here we see around us that we have a lot of green. There is some trees. Grand Canyon National Park contains 129 vegetation communities, and the growing of all their plant species depends on their weather and geology. Here we have some kayakers. These are going to be our guests. Here in this area, you can see that many people will kayak, raft, or just take a swim. And here we have reached our cooling destination. We've reached the bottom at the end of Grand Canyon, and here we're going to grab a lunch, grab a snack. We're going to sit down and relax after that enormous hike that we just did. So I hope that you all enjoyed our mini field trip. Hopefully we can go on more in the future.
To end our field trip, we are going to use our four senses today: sight, touch, smell, and hearing. For sight, what did you see today? What colors did you observe? Was there something that stood out to you? For touch, what do you imagine the rocks feeling like? What about the water? Is it hot or super cold? For our smelling sense, what do you think the Grand Canyon smells like? Fresh? Dry? Like nothing? What do you think the rocks smell like? And last but not least, our hearing sense. What did you hear on our trip? What sounds stood out to you as we walked through?